then fast forward, then the crack epidemic hit. My first job I got, one of the very first jobs I got was working at a men's shelter on Rikers Island. And in working there, I realized just how bad things were. So for me, the camera gave me a voice and it was my compass, but I had to be proactive and use my voice and my position to be a light and engage people and try to save people. And right after working on Rikers Island, you know, I'm home from the military. I took a lot of city examinations. I was called to be a correctional officer on Rikers Island. And I looked at it as a very important assignment that I had to embark on, because a few of my friends had just came home from jail for a crime they didn't commit. So they helped to brief me about the fact that there's a lot of innocent people in jail, in addition to some bad people in jail. So I welcomed my assignment as a correctional officer. So at the age of 23, I was assigned to Rikers Island, and that was my new destination. And one of the gifts that my father taught me was carry your camera everywhere you went. So when I was called for the job, I bought my camera. When I was in the academy, I had my camera. To range, my camera. When I went into the jail, I had my camera, and I documented my whole experience. But what was most important for me was to engage young people. And it's one of the most difficult jobs of my entire life. But I went in there because I'm in an environment with young people, 16 to 21 years old, pretty much black and brown young men who needed some type of help and guidance. Pretty much the guys I was trying to save on the street that ended up on Rikers Island. But I used my position to be a light. I would bring in my photo albums and show them hope and promise. Because I was telling the students, there's a photograph around the corner of a young man on a bunk with a book. And he's 16 years old in that picture. He just came home not too long ago after doing 30 years. And a lot of the guys I had in front of me were doing heavy time. So I decided to use my position as an officer to guide people. And to balance out all the negativity, because working on Rikers back then, C-74, a lot of guys were being slapped, they were being stabbed. Some couldn't take it, they were trying to hang up. And it was very difficult to work under those circumstances. So I would bring in literature and try to guide a lot of young men. Fortunately, I worked in a steady housing area where I was able to spend time every day with the same group of people, and I would photograph them. And then what I would do when I would leave Rikers Island, I would go into the streets and I would look for love and joy to balance out all the hate and violence I was dealing with. And then I would capture that and bring it back into the jail to show people hope and promise. So that's just a little bit of my history. You know, my social media feed is a reflection of my heart. I'm a concerned photographer. I'm really pained with everything that's going on in the world today. And I'm happy to be in a position now beyond any kind of imagine, because what brought us together now is this universal language of photography. That's the beauty of it right now. It brought us all together. And we need to be together as a society more now than ever before. In many cases, some of us don't speak the same language, but through photography, we have come together for a reason. And it's incumbent upon us, visionaries, photographers, really the art community. Because to me personally, politicians and religious leaders have failed to a great degree. I firmly believe that it's the art community that can bring about change in society right now. Whether you be a poet, a painter, a photographer, we need all hands on deck to make this world a better place right now. We really do. And Gordon Parks referred to the camera as a choice of weapons, with the paintbrushes, the pen is, and we need everybody, to take on issues that are close to your heart. Whatever bothers you, if there's something that bothers you, I met a young woman that talked about documenting autism. Another young lady talked about people with their pets. We need all hands on deck right now because we're living in some very dangerous times. One of the things I've been able to do as a photographer that really surprised me, I've been able to travel all over the world with my images. So a lot of the photographs you see here, I've taken them to Korea, to Japan, to Belgium, to France, and I've shared them, that language. And I'm showing them another side, because images could be negative too, and they can produce negative thoughts. So I'm trying to produce images that show joy and love and hope, to break down a lot of the negative stereotypes, because what's happening now due to social media, a lot of negativity is being uploaded, and those negative images are being shown around the world. So we have to create counter narratives to that, and we all have the ability to do that right now, because the time is very serious. So for me to be here is really special, because what's unique about my experience too is that one of the directors, Mike Canvas, who's not feeling well, to my shock, he wrote me when he was in Iraq. He was working for the New York Times. He was a bureau chief in Iraq. And this guy emailed me from Iraq. And he talked about his appreciation for my work. And I'm shocked because here I have this guy who's a war photographer, but he took time out of his busy schedule to reach out to me to acknowledge my work, and he spoke about, he felt that what I was doing was important. And now here, I'm here. And this center is an oasis in the Bronx. I was researching it early, and I'm blown away with what they're doing. They're teaching both the young, the old. When COVID hit, Mike and his team went into the projects, and they wanted to check on the elderly to make sure they were all right. I mean, this is an oasis, and we need to have more of these in cities all over. And what's interesting about this government today, they want to take this away. They want to take these type of programs away because they feel that it's diversity. We need diversity, and we need unity like never before. You know what I mean? So I need you guys to help support this. Those who don't know, let's support these institutions because we need this. And Mike and his team are doing a very important work that needs to be done more now than ever before. All my life, all I've known is hatred and war. It's endless, all my life. So imagine, I'm 64 years old, and my entire life, the images that stay in the forefront of my mind is war and suffering and hate. And there's never been any change. There's never been a moment other than what I document, but it's constant. So again, we need all hands on deck right now. And it's more important now than ever before that each one has to teach one. We have to love one another and use our gifts, because all of us got gifts. And how can we we have to question ourselves and say, what can I do to make this world a better place? Sometimes we got to start with our family. And I know that's not easy sometimes because a lot of families are fractured. But we need everybody to come together. And this is a sign right here. If I never do anything again, I could look back and say that my show brought everybody together in the spirit of love and unity. And do take time to greet your neighbors and know who you have around you, because there's a lot of great people here. And I got to ask this question because it's important to me, so I could greet you guys separately in a very unique way. How many of my people here you know me from Instagram? Raise your hand. My Instagram people. All right, there we go. That's a special place for me. I appreciate you guys here because Instagram has given me a wonderful platform to get what's in my heart out. You know, those who follow me, you see what I post. I post about pollution, global warming, hatred, politics, love, unity, the whole nine. I'm grateful to have such a place where I can get out what's inside, because if not, I would have been stressed out. But I'm not going to be too long. I've said more than enough, but I appreciate all of you guys. I'll take anybody on a personal tour and break it down, because every single photograph has a story behind it. And I'm here for you guys. So whatever it is that you may want to know, you have any questions, even now, if you have any questions, I'm willing to take on any questions.